brute force. If it doesn't work, you're just not using enough. You're listening to SOFREP Radio, special operations military news, and straight talk with the guys in the community.
Hey, what's going on? This is Rad, your host for SOFREP Radio, and today I have a very cool guest that we're going to learn about. But first, let me remind you that we have the merch store, and right here somewhere along the screen, it's going to say stores.sofrep.merch or sofrep.com/merch. Please go check out the newest products that we have launched by all the special operators in the background, creating, and they're like, do we like this? Do we like that? Do we like the lighter? Do we like the mug? Come on, help us buy something, okay? We love that. Second, we have a book club, and it's sofrep.com/book-club. That's book-club at sofrep.com. There's a lot of curated books in there. You know, we believe that reading is a powerful tool for your muscle, which is your brain. So please just read a book. Power and knowledge go together. So, you know, the more you read, the better you are with knowledge. And we'll go from there. Now, my next guest, let's just go to his website and kind of drop you a little bit of his info. His name is Rob Kelly. He comes to us via a friend of the program who's like, Rad, you should get him on the show. So, Jim, this one's for you, buddy. Now, let me give you a little bit of breakdown. Found it, alwaysready365.com is the website. It is founded by Rob Kelly, former police officer, DoD contractor, protector, and leader. Always Ready was born out of a personal transformation and a lifelong mission to serve others. Rob Kelly, a former New Hampshire police officer, Department of Defense contractor, K-9 instructor and handler, and public servant, built Always Ready as a movement rooted in discipline, mindset, and action. It began through IOP Enterprises LLC, short for Omnia Pratus, Latin for ready for anything. Rob and his team spun the mindset into something deeper. Always Ready, from breaking point to breakthrough. So what we're gonna learn about is Rob and how he had to face hard truths, such as being overweight, unmotivated, exhausted, just not physically, but mentally, emotionally, just out of it. Despite a lifetime of helping others, he realized he wasn't showing up for himself. In his own words, he was fat AF. Full of self-made excuses that many of us know all too well, but instead of staying stuck, Rob took extreme ownership of his condition. He didn't chase a diet. He pursued discipline. He stopped saying I should and started saying I must. And that mindset shift must be become the foundation for a complete transformation in body, mind, and life. Welcome to the program, Rob Kelly. Welcome.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really pumped to be here. Thanks, Brad, so much. I've heard nothing but great things, so I'm super pumped to be here and just honored. So thank you.
You know, when you come referred from Jim, I'm going to take that right away and just be like, let's go. No questions asked. You're a pal of a pal, you know, and I love that. And the folks that want to be on the show make it even much more passionate, right? You're like, hey, I want to be here. I want to talk to you, Rad. You know, I love your American flag behind you. I have one as well. I love that we can live under one unified flag. We don't need multiple things going off, distraction devices.
Right.
Rob, bro, you've been in the military, you've done special operations, you've done police officer work in New Hampshire. You know, as a young man, are you where you thought you would be when you were like 14?
No. No, I'm not even close, man. I'll tell you, funny story. I wanted to be a cowboy, a New Hampshire cowboy, right? I grew up on horses, grew up around them, and I was chasing that. And a friend of mine said to me, he goes, Rob, you got to come to this Police Explorer meeting tonight. And I grew up in Pelham, New Hampshire, right? So, and I'm like, what's that? And he goes, it's like Boy Scouts, but with the police department, right? So I go, and I was hooked. And that one conversation, as we all are familiar with, changed the path, man. It really changed the path. And I met a mentor. His name was Kenny Owen. He's passed away. He died at 53. He was a K-9 handler most of his career, upwards of over 20 years, because he did retire and stayed in part-time. But anyway, he got me into the
Not
dog.
retired.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
They're
retired. You
never
can't retire.
retired.
How do we retire? No, I don't think so.
That word retirement is stupid. Anyway, right?
It's yeah.
It's
I think it's dead. When we're dead, then I'll be retired.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I feel the same way. So he sucked me right in, man. All it took was, hey, who here wants to take a bite from a police dog? And I'm like, I'll do it. And I was hooked, man. Hooked. It was such an adrenaline rush, and I just thought it was so cool that this animal could do this, right? And the relationship he had between the dog and him, and it just took off from there early on. And next thing you know, I'm teaching a class for him privately at 17. Really had no business at 17 teaching people, but I made it happen. You know, adapt and overcome, and that took me down my path in my career. I actually, when I became a cop at 21 in 2004, I was a canine instructor for the New Hampshire Police Canine Academy before I even started as a canine handler. It's usually the other way around.
You already locked in. You had already been going, and like you said, it was the Boy Scouts, but with the police. So what are they going to do? They're going to say, "Come here, Mowgli. You want to run around with all us big bears, you man cub? Come here. Let's mold you into this young man." And so you've gone through all of those processes. You've been hanging out with all of the other officers. You probably did ride-alongs. You know, a ton. Yeah, a ton.
You know, Rad, what I didn't know, though, was they were really just using my young body so they didn't have to get beat up and tossed on the ground.
That's exactly right.
But I'll take it any day of the week because they gave me an experience and an education that you just can't get in school. You know, you really can't.
No, you got hands-on OJT, on-the-job training, put in the fire. You know, you're like, I'll get bit again and again and again and again and again, and start running. I've seen those videos, and they're like, the dog gets onto him and latches on, man, like a Malinois. Or like
Malinois.
Malinois. Is that what you used?
I had a Dutch Shepherd now, but back then I had a German Shepherd. He was a cross between East German and Czech. He was awesome. Oh, yeah, he was cool.
That's way cool, man. They got that snout. Yeah. You know, you see them at the cruise ship line, and everybody's got their luggage, and the dogs are going up and down the road sniffing everyone's luggage. We've all puckered. Everybody puckers.
Yeah, that's right.
Even if you got nothing, you're like, what's the dog gonna say? What's he gonna sniff? Is he gonna hit the? Do I have something I don't even know about? The dog's gonna smell me,
100%.
Bro.
So cool.
Dogs are so. Is it real when someone? So if a dog hits on a car when you're doing ups and downs and you're going around the vehicle, like you've done a stop, they bring in canine, and there's a false hit, right? Let's just go to the false hits. How often would that be where the dog says there's a hit, you search the vehicle, but there's nothing?
Yeah, for sure. This is a super good conversation, right? Because a lot of people are like, well, how do you know, like whichever? And this comes down to really the handler really understanding his dog, right? So like if a dog, you can tell the difference, in my opinion, in my experience with the dog's nonverbal cues, with what he's been trained to find, when he gets into odor and when he's not in odor, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. And you learn the hard way. You learn by saying, oh, there's a training aid there. And they're like, no, dude, you suck. It's not true. The dog literally just sat because he knows that's what gets him the reward, right? Stuff like that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to like train with those variables and work around those pieces and proof them off of that to really get them to work like people when they're lazy, you know?
Yeah, it's right.
Exactly. It's cool.
And so, but again, though, like your hits, like you've been there, you've searched a vehicle, there was nothing, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And
so you're like the dog with that, and those are the hard experiences where you've been like, oh, so how do you explain to the person that got pulled over, like, oh, hey, the dog didn't sense anything, but I scared you?
Yeah. So for me, this is the dynamic there, right? So I actually never got to do that as a canine handler, and here's why. Like I said, I was an instructor and a trainer before I was the handler, and then when I became a handler in a very small town, I worked in a bigger city. In New Hampshire, if you want to call it a bigger city in New Hampshire. And then I left that. Exactly. You can drive across the state in 30 minutes. I'm kidding. But anyway, sorry. I know it's fine.
No, it's okay. I love it.
It's good. It's good. I love New Hampshire. I'm born and raised in New Hampshire. I love New Hampshire. I'm super biased.
I love New Hampshire. It's wicked cool, man. Awesome. I love it.
So when I became an actual canine handler outside of just being a trainer for the New Hampshire Police Canine Academy. It was every week training with those guys and helping run that. It was like a hot minute, and then I ended up going overseas because I got an opportunity. Smaller town. I did make some great mistakes as a person. I mean, I made some, stupid mistakes, but also I don't want to take the full blame, but I will definitely take blame for my mess ups and learning as a young cop the political game. And, sometimes you shouldn't die on that hill.
It exists. It does exist.
So I wanted to reference that because I don't want to put any falses out there that I was on the road and doing all this with my dog because I didn't actually get to do that piece. It wasn't until I went overseas and handled the bomb dog that I actually got to really work the dog consistently overseas for DoD assigned.
We'll expound on that. Let's go into that because I'm curious about dogs' hits. You know what I'm saying? And I have a friend. And he goes by K Factor on Instagram. Go check out K Factor if you're listening to this. And he is a huge dog handler. He teaches them civilian-wise, but his dog is in German, sits in between his legs, walks with him. Yeah. He tells the dog what to do, and the dog does it in front of me at my shops. And I'm just like, oh, your dog is amazing. I don't even want to pet it because I don't want to mess it up.
Right on. Yeah, so when that happens, there are times where the dog's all over it. Like the dog's working, and they're smelling the car, and all of a sudden they're like, and you're like, ooh, oh, this is familiar, and then bam, he sits right, and then you go to pull the dog away, and the dog's pulling back. That's how I train it. Some people have some different mindsets on that piece, but I like that. Like I like the dog to work, so like I'll pull him away because if he's gonna commit, he's gonna go back because that's the way I've instilled in him. The more that I pull, I use that opposition reflex to get him to say, no way, not today. I'm going back, and that's where it is. And that to me is like, okay, now that's money, right? That's money. So then we call it. We go, okay, let's pull the dog. Let's clear the area. Let's call EOD in. And they came down, check it out. And they're like, yeah, there's nothing in here. And
he's still pulling at it. He's still like, give me another chance. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, what the, that was totally every bit of training, certification. That was like a guaranteed. So with that said, you could phrase it like maybe there was something there. Maybe they own pistols and because odor hangs around, you know what I mean? Or, maybe this guy had a pistol, but now he knows he's coming on base because he's delivering as a local guy, delivering trucks to a base and he left it at home. I mean, that's a possibility.
So the dog can sense the gunpowder is what you're really going after, huh?
Yeah, with those kind of alerts, yeah. But then you have the other falses, the true falses, and I don't like to call them falses. I like to call it smart dog trying to get his reward tricks. That's what I like to call it. Where they're they're working, they do a lap, and then they do a head snap, and then they're like, and they just sit and look at you, and then you pull them away, and they kind of walk away, and then you're like, okay, let's double check just to make sure, give him another opportunity, and then he does the same exact thing, but it's pretty minimal, and you're like, nah, there's nothing in there.
Right.
You can tell by the intensity of the dog. Really, you can.
I didn't think that you could just. I didn't think for just a moment now that you said this that you could remove the stuff from the vehicle and then that odor is still lingering around and you could have been the guy that you're looking for, but when the dog came to give you that extra help, he was kind of maybe psyched out because it was there. He smells it because their keen sense of smell.
Dude, it's crazy.
Right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, wow.
It's impressive. They're an impressive animal. They really are.
So if the bullet has everything put together,
yes,
and the gunpowder is in it, he still smells that bad boy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you a true story, real example. So I worked with a company. It was called Vanguard Consulting Group, and the gentlemen, the gents that owned it, I got a super cool opportunity to contract for these guys for about 8 years. Dennis Chalker and Duke Leonard, former SEAL team members. Plank members actually. Anyway, and they contract us in, and it was new. We get overseas. We just trained a bunch of dogs, and in about I'd say 4 weeks because they were like, we need them fast, and then which is fast, right? For just single purpose, not for bite. You want some months. You want some time to prove, but they're like, no, we need it now. Contract, and that happens a little bit, and you don't want to sell junk. You want to sell quality, right? So. My brother worked with me. He's a full-time sheriff's deputy here in Hillsborough County, New Hampshire. He's a sergeant.
What's up, Hillsborough? What's up? Shout out.
Right on. That's cool. That's awesome. Roman Kelly's the man.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up, Sheriff Department?
Yeah, he's an R. Kelly also. We're screwed.
Oh, you guys are R. Kellys.
You didn't
Shut the
you didn't
front
pick up
door.
on that?
No.
I threw it
Come
out there
on,
because I'm like,
bro.
you know what? He's gonna pick up on this. He's got that personality, so I just throw it out there.
Now I'm in the closet. I'm hiding
Yeah,
in
well,
the
we don't-
closet. I'm sitting in the
don't-
closet. Now I know. Now I will.
Yeah, we don't do the whole sheet thing, so we're good.
No.
Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
so we sorry. So we sorry, not sorry. So we get these dogs trained up and they're rock stars, right? But the problem with that is these dogs are used to getting rewarded, on a regular. So we get overseas, we're doing a seismic camp for oil, total private contract, way up north, northern Iraq, toward like Kirkuk, the Hook area, like that area, somewhere up in there. And we're training local handlers with these dogs that we sold to Vanguard and their partner company. We get up there, we're running their whole program now. We get them out there. We train the handlers for about another 5 weeks. So we included training to build the dog's experience. So this is our first contract with them. We get these dogs out there, they're searching, and I get here on the radio, we have a dog hit on the car, and I'm like, in my brain, this is terrible, but in my brain, I'm like, oh shit, this isn't real.
Like a dog got hit by a car.
No, I'm sorry. He hit on the vehicle, like alerted.
Right. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm
So-
sorry. I'm using
I would've
terminology
thought,
like it.
I thought like, oh, a dog got hit by the car.
Oh no, I'm sorry, dude. No, he was in odor. He sat to the car as if there were explosives in the vehicle. Right?
Right.
It's a possibility, but in my brain, I'm like doubting it. Right? Which is terrible because I've been doing this for years. And I'm
4
like
weeks.
teaching, never doubt your dog. Blah blah blah. And here I am, like, oh no, because I'm, we're trying to impress. We're trying to put our best foot forward and maintain this. So we go down there, and this South African former Special Forces guy who was leading as the security lead for the client there, I'm like on this contract, and we were the canine piece of that. So he and I get down there, and he's like, let's run a second dog, like the policy says. So they come down, they run the second dog. The second dog, same thing. And I'm like, okay, one dog maybe, two, we should probably take this real. Like, this is real. And sure enough, what we were just talking about with the bullet, shotgun shell right in the door.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And the guy goes,
Found it.
oh my God. He goes, sorry. Like, he's like, sorry. I was at my cousin's. We shoot shotgun in back, I forget. We're like, how long ago was that? He's like, oh, yesterday, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was pretty wild. So it wasn't a bad thing that it happened because that actually brought some cool eyes to the program. They're like, wow, you guys train these dogs in 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
And then train handlers in 4 weeks. And they did their job perfectly. And the handler's like, it's there, which I love, right? So anyway, that was that. So
he was just so
your
confident. He's like, it's there.
Yeah.
We know it's there.
Totally.
So was this person that you guys stopped, was he just like, it wasn't part of a test, was it?
No, not that we're aware of. They never told us. If it was a test, they didn't tell us that information.
And
He
you would've
legitimately had the
passed
story
said
of like,
test.
yeah,
Yeah.
He was coming on delivering probably food or something to the camp. He was in like a tiny, it wasn't really like a box truck, but it was open in the back. He was delivering something. I can't remember, but
Would you say that if someone was popping shotgun shells off at a target, like legitimately just shooting at the target, that if they maybe didn't clean themselves up from the night before and they get in their vehicle, that residue, that smell is going to make that dog want to kind of sit, don't you think, on the car?
Yeah, that too. That would happen too. But
That
he
would,
found,
huh? Because
yeah,
they smell it.
yeah, for sure. I mean, this is why they like trail people. That's why they like if you just how you do swabs on people, you're looking for residue and stuff. Dogs will pick up on that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
so if you see a
dogs are
dog
intense.
maybe 10 feet, 15 feet walking behind you, they might just be following you with a scent with their handler.
very true.
And you're like, oh, he's not on me. They're not talking to me. The dog's like
Yeah.
following your butt.
Yeah.
He is.
Especially if it's like the source. It depends too. Like whatever the strongest source is, that's where they're going to alert to, right? So like you could have like let's say a pound of C4 hidden over there, and the wind's kicking enough, and you're outside, and the dog's hitting it like 50 yards away, sometimes even further, and they're in odor, and you're like, when are we going to find this thing? you know. And
Well, you guys think about like the book Where the Redford Grows, about like the dogs that are raccoon dogs, that the bloodhound dogs. They do pick up that scent. They do go after the raccoon and get him up in a tree and sit there and trying to say, hey, there's something up in the tree. I got it up in the tree. I'm a good boy. Give me a treat. Give me the animal, whatever it is. So a dog does have that just scent. Can the dog be thrown off by going up and down a river and then trying to cross the river? You know, like how they, in the movies, you're like, I'm gonna go up the river and then go the other way and like throw off the scent.
Yeah, this is where the handler comes into play too, because a dog can get into it and get off the scent, and then next thing you know, he realizes he's not on anymore. And water can definitely play a role there, but they can smell through the water too, man. I mean, that's why they use cadaver dogs in boats, hanging over the edge of boats, and they get a cadaver dog sniffing over the edge, and they alert, and the body's all the way down the bottom, you know.
And they can smell that difference in the
Gases
area
coming
right there.
up and the bubbles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, so there you go. So if you're gonna try to run up a river,
yeah, it works. And sometimes they hit on stuff they're not even trained on, because it's not supposed to be there, right? They
It's
just
just
know
something
through
different.
experience, you know, and maybe not so much a green dog, like a newer dog, but we've had dogs who were never trained on marijuana at all. They're explosives, hitting on them in trucks overseas because it's not supposed to be there.
yeah,
So they're like, oh, this
"I
will get me my
smell
reward.
something."
This isn't supposed to be here.
You're like, what is this? Open the gas tank. You're like, what's this string in the gas tank? What are all these things tied to this gas? What is all this? What is this? A tea bag? What are you putting in the gas tank? You know, what is all this, guy? Come on.
Wild.
Oh, wow, good boy.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Now today you've transitioned to, bettering yourself, bettering your mindset. You said, you got, as you said, fat AF.
Yeah.
Let's just, how fat is AF for you?
311 pounds I got to.
And how tall are you?
5'8".
That's a chubby guy.
Yeah, it's fat.
Okay. Okay, so
yeah.
you're 5'8", and you're now hauling around an extra person
Yeah,
on your body, on your frame.
it was wild. I felt old, Rad. I felt old. And I would say that, man, I'm old. I get up out of bed. My feet are killing me. My joints are killing me. And now I wake up and I pop right up like I'm in my 20s. That's what I feel like, right?
Yes.
And really what happened was you got to find your whys, right? And we all know this. We've heard this. Anybody who's successful in any realm, they talk about their whys, right? They talk about what's their driver, what's their focus, what's their goal. And for me, it started off with my nieces and nephews. I don't want to be the fat uncle. I have no kids myself, right? But I'm like, I don't want to be the fat uncle. I felt, I'll never forget it. He was super young and he could barely talk at the time. And he's like, basically come play over here with me. And I'm like, oh, so tired. I don't want to do that. And it really bothered me, because I know as a kid, I remember back in the day growing up, that was devastating, right? So I'm like, I don't want to be the fat uncle. I want, when my nephew or my niece comes over to me and they're like, uncle, come play with me. Let's go play basketball. I want to be like, yeah, let's go, without even question. And now that's the case.
Right.
So that was my first why. So I started, my wife, actually, I came home from work. I was traveling at the time. I was working for a security company. Not that long ago. We'll talk about that after, but, and I came home from a trip and she's like, hey, I think I'm gonna go with diet. This is in 2024. I think it was like December-ish. Just before, November-ish, because we started right before Thanksgiving. And she goes, hey, I'm gonna go to this place called Medi Weight Loss and I'm gonna do a diet. And I'm like, you know what? I'm in with you. And I made that my first discipline. And I didn't turn back. And I just focused on that. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't worry about going outside and running. I just focused on that because I knew at this point, I've never been a reader, right? I've always never been really great at education and school and all that. Now I love reading. But my point is, I just focused on that one discipline. That discipline affected every other discipline. And every lack affects that rest, right? So I just kept going. And as I kept doing it, I kept thriving off the discipline. There was days where I'm like, man, I wish I could have that.
Yes.
Those fries look amazing.
Really? I was just going to say fries.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Or
the
potato
universal
chips.
screw the pooch,
Yes.
And I just took off with that. And I lost with just the diet and really focus on about 45 pounds. I want to say it was 46 to be exact. Yeah, it was 46 pounds.
That's a really good. No, I'm listening. I'm all about it, dude. I go to the gym just about every day. I have the fight camp set up in my living room. Like if I was to turn my camera over here, there's like a boxing setup right
awesome,
here.
Dude. I love it.
Yeah, right here, and it just does everything for me. It's all digital and this, that, and the other, and nothing like going into the gym just to sweat it out. In fact, if you're watching this on YouTube or any of our other platforms, you'll see my hair is wet because I just really got out of the shower coming back from boxing before I did this episode with you this morning. I was like, I got to get it in.
Yeah.
I got to get it in. I got to be disciplined on it. And I'm just speaking on the discipline aspect because I journal my everyday gym workout with a photo on Instagram. So I'm always putting it up there. And all I put is #showed up.
Yeah. Love it.
Just showed up.
I love it, dude. That's awesome.
It's the hardest thing to do is to show up for yourself. Yeah. I could easily eat fries and become 400 pounds, but right now I'm 278 pounds and I'm 6'5".
Yeah, holy crap. I am not 6'5".
So the last thing I want to do is get over that 300 number again.
Yeah.
And when I do war games out here in the desert as my job, I'm putting on another 30 pounds in gear. Yep. So my frame's now holding what I was. It's crazy to lift 40 extra pounds in weights. They're like, okay, grab 220s. You're like, I think I'll grab 2.5s. They're like, no, grab 220s. You're like, oh yeah, that's what I had on me.
It's wild.
I had this. I was walking around with this extra 40 pounds, doing whatever, snowboarding, trying to make out with my wife, extra 40 pounds, extra 40 pounds, extra 40 pounds is gone.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is awesome.
That is awesome. I have that same experience with rucking, right? So I'll throw 60 pounds in that backpack and I'm like, man, I weighed more than I've lost more than this, and it's so heavy walking.
Right.
It's wild.
It's crazy, and we'd sit there just like dun 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 in the grocery store. I love the ice cream aisle. I love it. I do. I even walk down it. I look at the gummies. I look at the candy. I look at can I drink this? Can I eat this? We have this app that we always are using where we scan our barcodes. It's called the Yucca app, and my wife and I are always like, is it in the green? Or is it in the red? If it's in the red, we don't eat it. Like I found a bag of chips that was like 61 green out of 100. Oh, that's good enough. I was like, that's a green. It's a
I can have that.
Yes, I can eat that. It's something crunchy, something as a vessel to scoop up the cottage cheese, because, and not to take over your story, but I didn't eat chicken for like 15. I don't eat meat. And I didn't eat any meat for like 15 years until about a year and a half ago. I started reading about this music producer named Rick Rubin, who did like the Beastie Boys and Tom Petty and all these other artists. And he was vegan. And he was like super big dude. And he couldn't lose the weight. And he's like, and I got money. I got a personal chef making me vegan food. It's supposed to be vegan. I'm supposed to be healthy. And he's not losing any weight. Okay. So what he did was he talked to a dietitian. And the dietitian said, are you open to eating chicken? Because what chicken will do is the protein will go in and it'll give you what you need. And he's like, all right, I'll try whatever. I'll go back. Okay, I'll eat chicken. So I read about him doing that, and I started eating chicken. And I was like, oh, okay. And it actually has helped to curb off the weight.
Right on.
You're sitting here eating vegetables and what you think is the right stuff, but what do you eat when you're vegetarian or vegan is processed.
Right.
You want cheese, so you eat fake processed something cheese. It's still processed.
Right.
You're trying to do the right thing. You want to eat. Maybe you love animals. Okay, cool. Maybe you want to do better for your heart. You don't want animal fat in your bloodstream, so you cut out cholesterol. But you eat processed something else. It's just like, you're damned if you do or don't.
Fair.
So chicken.
Yeah,
I
with you,
introduced
dude.
it to myself.
Chicken is one of my best friends. You know what I mean? So.
Yes.
Totally. The more protein you eat, it's funny how much it actually helps burn the fat, right? It's incredible. Right. It's incredible.
And I'm not a dietitian, and I don't want my listener to know that. I'm just an end user who's trying to be a better person on an everyday level by doing these things myself, right? And I just want to be clear about that. So consult your physician if you have any type of issue, but I do. I go to a doctor every 3 to 6 months, and they call me. They're like, hey, your blood pressure was 3 points over. We want to make sure you're good. I'm like, man, don't scare me. Stop it.
Yeah,
I don't want no more pills. No.
yeah, yeah.
Thrills before pills. I love to snowboard, box,
That's cool.
airsoft war games, hike,
awesome.
and anything but trying to take a pill. I do. I still take a statin for my heart because
Gotcha.
I'm predisposed to heart issues through
Oh,
my
yeah.
father and my
Yep.
all my family heart attacks in their 60s. So
No kidding.
but we're curbing
that
it.
sucks. Yeah,
I
that's
went
good.
into the doctor. Listen, I went to the doctor specifically on my own and said, "Hey, man, my parents have died. My ancestors have died of heart issues. Can you just check me?" And it took me a year and a half to get my physician's appointment. It's crazy. So that whole time I'd been boxing, and he's like, "Oh, you're doing good. You have a little calcium, or you have some cholesterol built up in your widowmaker. So let's get you on a statin." So he's like, "Let me tell you something, though." He's like, "If I were to tell you there was a pill that would help stop cancer, you would take it, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, this is for your heart."
Yeah, no
And I was
kidding.
like, "All right, cool, bro. Okay, cool. I'll believe you on this." And so I take a 5 milligram little pink pill every night before bed. And, I stay away from limes and all these different grapefruits because
Yeah.
you can't have it mix for your liver. So there are some, the
Give and
67s that go with it.
Oh, come on, don't even. This guy.
If you're watching, dude, I just did the whole 6-7. I did it.
Oh my God.
I did it. I'm
you
48 years old. I'm
As
48.
soon as
Come
you
at me.
as soon as you did it, I'm like, he's gonna say it.
I did it. I did. See?
I saw a thing
But,
online. They were like, "Oh, this whole 6-7. Can we just delete that for 2026?"
Dude, you can't. It's in South Park.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a valid point.
It's there forever. It's in historical documents. Come on now. But I love the discipline. I love the aspect of like, what's the turning point? And the fact that you teamed up with your wife to go together into battle.
Yeah.
Okay? Because now you're not like, "Oh, I can eat whatever I want in front of you." And she's just looking at you like trying to do her best. And then you're sitting there eating whatever you want. So my wife, we're all the same in our house here.
Yeah.
We all eat like the same. Everybody
awesome.
eats lots of apples.
Makes a difference.
Makes a difference.
Totally
Yes.
makes a difference. I hear you on that. Like the discipline piece is big for me. I'm on a thing right now for a year. I don't know if this was in or if Jim mentioned it, but so the Live Hard program, 75 Hard and all that. Have you heard of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, you read, write, wake up, be
Yep. I did that all last year.
mindful.
I did the full thing for 165 days. I met
wow.
a gent at Master Taser School out in Canada when I went in May of 24, and he got me hooked into it. It was a big thing, and I'm glad he did. I'm glad this happened. I ended up doing it. I bought all into it. Did 165 days. Well,
Yeah,
this
that's
year,
good.
I read Iron Hope by James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy. Have you read that?
I have not read that.
Oh, dude, good read. It's so good. And I don't get anything for promoting. I just genuinely, this is how this started. And
Oh, we love it.
it's so raw and real. It's one of the most well-written storylines around discipline and what he went through to run those 100 marathons in 100 days. Or actually, I think he ended up doing like 101. He's like, one more, why not? And he did it. But anyway, I was reading that book. And I was finishing up. I was in my last month of the Live Hard program, and I took a break, and I didn't track in between like I was supposed to or whatever, and I put on a couple pounds, nothing crazy. Like I'm talking like maybe 8 pounds or give or take. Nothing drastic. I lost 100 pounds in 10 months last year. In 10 months,
Jeez.
all from
10
diet
months.
and working out.
What are you at right now? Like, because you said you were like 311 at
Yeah.
one point.
I'm about 208, give or take.
Oh, that's really good.
I'm at 208 right now, and I'm benching like 275 for 7 now. I'm doing pretty good. Like I'm not trying to go super heavy, like one max reps. I'm actually trying to go for more endurance. So like I'm going to be in a cut here toward the end of this part of the program I'm in now. So I read this book, right, and I'm running and I'm slowing down, and I'd been faster previously, and I'm running. I'm like, man. And I started thinking about him talking. I could hear the words in the book while I'm running. And running's a good, I understand it could have long-term effects, but it's good for the brain. It's really good for the brain. And I start cruising, and all I could think of was, stop being a bitch, man. Like, you got to, like, let's do something good here. So then I chose at that very moment, running through the center of Deering, New Hampshire, where it's the town I live in, and I said, I'm going to do the Live Hard program phase 3 for 365 days. I'm in day 269 today. 269,
Oh, right now.
270 right now, of all the tasks not missed, because you start all over again. And
Yeah.
it's phase 3, so it's the two workouts, 45 minutes every day. Follow a diet, stick to it. A gallon of water. Self progress photo. 10 pages of something that's going to excel you forward, right? Nonfiction. 5-minute cold ash shower. That's what I call it on Instagram. I video myself
right.
diving into it. I go 5-minute cold ash shower time, and I dive in the shower, and I throw that out for the fan. They like it. I say fans. They have like 6,000 followers. It's not crazy, but
No, it's good. No, it's good. I get it. It's like
Yeah.
you're journaling though, and
Yes,
those that are
I'm
following along on your path are just like either working out mentally through you,
Yes.
vicariously, and
Yeah.
they're like they know they should be doing what you're doing. Somebody may not be able to get up out of bed,
Yeah.
and they're like you motivate them mentally. They're supporting you. Keep
best
doing
feeling.
it. Cold ass shower, 5 minutes.
Cold ash shower time. And
Jeez,
like
bro.
when I travel a lot because I teach people all over the country now, right? Like for self-defense, de-escalation, and recognizing aggressive behavior, all this stuff.
You should go to Minnesota.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thank you.
Fair enough. And what was I saying?
De-escalate that.
What was I going to say?
Oh, you were talking about taking a 5-minute cold ass shower. And people on the internet are that you were tracking, and you're taking photos of yourself, and then you take a daily 10 pages.
So I literally cook my own breakfast in my hotel room. I bought a little skillet, so I travel with that. I cook egg whites only, and I do 40 grams of oats, in the morning. Eat that, and then I meal prep. I do chicken. If I'm traveling, I just nuke it in the microwave, and vegetables. The same thing I eat at home, and I travel with that, and I just stay disciplined to it. So there's the diet piece, and when I'm traveling, and then I get up 3:00 every morning, and do my first workout, and I usually do my second workout if I'm home. I usually knock that out by because it's got to be 3 hours apart. There's a lot of rules that you have to follow within the Live Hard program. They have to be a minimum of 3 hours apart. So there's that piece, right? So I do that. And then there's a 10-minute visualization, one random act of kindness. That's actually not that hard, believe it or not. For me, anyway.
No, you're a good dude. Yeah, exactly.
I love people. People are super interesting. People are super cool. I think it's awesome. And you talk to a random stranger, which is super fun. I always try to find the folks that look like they don't want to talk, and I just see like what they're wearing. I'm like, oh, dude, that's a cool shirt or whatever. It works well every time. They change. They go from this hard exterior. Oh, I just nailed the mic. Hard exterior or whatever, and then they're like, oh yeah, and they get all excited like they're like a child, and it's super cool. And I had a 15-minute conversation with a guy at a gas pump about his truck and the engine in it. I had no clue what he was saying because I'm not an engine guy, but it sounded so cool. I actually learned a lot talking to him, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense of why my truck blew up. Some shit like
Keep
that.
the oil in there.
Yeah.
That's what the dipstick's for.
Yeah.
You're not the dipstick. It's the dipstick.
It's the dipstick.
Come
Yeah, right.
on.
Is that thing you check the oil with? Is that
That's exactly what that is.
Gotcha.
See, it goes in the engine.
copy
You're supposed to
direct?
check it every time you fill up for gas, too, by the way. Yeah, I'm just saying, scratch your head.
Yeah.
I had a professor when I was going into college, and I was in public speaking and communication. And he's like, if you can't handle talking in front of people, I want you to do these little things outside of class. He's like, I want you to go into an elevator and stand next to the person. Even if there's like 2 corners of the elevator, no one's in there. He's like, just kind of like stand next to them. He's like, if it's a library and there's seats are all open and there's only one person at a table over there in the corner, go sit down next to them and just start working. He's like, just get into their personal space and see what happens, And I'm very much that guy. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit at the counter. There's 2 people here. Well, my big butt fits right in the middle of you too. How you doing? Yeah, you're good. I'm gonna sit. I like the middle plane seat too. I don't mind. I'm 6'5", but I'll sit in the middle. I get both armrests. I'm like, how you guys doing? What's up? Oh, you're uncomfortable? I'm 6'5". What are you gonna do about it? What are we gonna do here?
I'm the same guy, but in the elevator.
Yeah. People always looking down, looking up, and I'm just looking at them.
What do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do with my hands, right? And I'm just like, dude, what's going on? Like, how's your day? And they're like, what? You just broke this cardinal sin. Like, what are you doing?
I walked in Las Vegas a few years ago, and this one guy was in our group that were walking, and we were like around the Stratosphere, and it's kind of shady. There's a 7-Eleven, and it's dark, and the neighborhood's all tattered and worn down from just disheveledness out there from gambling and whatnot. But there was this like, we were walking and he engaged everybody on the street first. He's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, man, why are you talking to that guy? He's just like chilling, like coming down off his fix. And then he goes over to the other guy. He's like, hey, how you doing? And I'm just like, bro, why are we like, you gonna get them to ask us for money? What are you doing? Why are we asking, why are you talking to people? He's like, because I engage first. And when I engage, then I control the situation. And I'm just like, all right. We don't walk around with that guy no more. I just want you to know.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, like I talk to people because I'm genuine, like actually interested in them.
He's like trying to engage in the combat in case the threat is there, and
That's
like
funny.
he's the first guy to contact. I'm just like, I learned from a bunch of SEALs when I went over to London. I watched this fist fight happen in front of a kebab shop where you get your food late at night after the bars close. We were on the east side of London. And I was sitting there and I had a big old thing of fish and chips, and I'm so American. I put vinegar on it and I'm like, I'm gonna eat this. I think it's white fish. He's like, it's white fish. And I'm like, what kind of white fish? He's like, it's white fish. And I'm like cod or haddock. I don't even know. So anyways, I'm outside eating it, and this lady walks up, this gal. She's kind of wasted, and she just reaches in my food. She grabs out fries and puts them in her mouth, and she spits them out. And she's like, who puts vinegar on their chips? I'm like, who are you again? So I have all these Navy SEALs sitting here watching this happen, and we're getting ready to go back to our flat. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this dude just runs at this other guy trying to catch the bus, and he punches him in the face.
Jeez.
Blood immediately out of his face on the ground. And then all of a sudden, the guy just kicks him. And I'm like, how do these guys even know each other? And I went to go help because I'm a helper. And my buddy grabs me by the shirt, and he's like, Rad, not your war.
Yeah,
And
fair.
I was like, oh, yeah, right, American, not him. I should walk away. But the dude's bleeding. Okay, they'll figure it out. And it's the five of us walk down, maybe like a good quarter mile. We get away from the kebab. All the blue lights are cruising to that spot.
Yeah.
We moved out of that situation. We were like, we're out. See ya, not my war, right?
That's right.
I can't always save everybody, I
That's
suppose.
fact.
So without saving myself first.
Sound advice.
Not my war.
Yeah, for sure.
And ever since then, I'm just like, okay, is it my war? Is this my war, right? What hill am I dying on today?
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I get that.
Stories, dude. Those guys.
Fair. They got some serious stories.
You know, well, we were traveling over with SOFREP with Team USA, who were Navy SEALs and Delta Force guys, and they were boxing the SAS in England on their veterans. And so we had this huge, I was with Team USA, so I'm with all these hard hitters, dude. I'm with these SEALs and guys that hunted bin Laden like cave to cave.
Yeah,
He's
right
like,
on.
Rad, if they would have stopped us at the Pakistan border, we would have got them. But they got all the way through the Tora Bora caves, and they're like, the pots were still cooking on the stove, on the fire, and like cigarettes were still burning. And he's like, we were right there, but as soon as it got to Pakistan, they're like, you can't go into Pakistan. They're like, wait a second. In the beginning, that was the very beginning of 2001. Yeah, dude. So we were over there with those guys.
That's
What's up?
cool.
Shout out to Hobbit,
That must have
who
been a
is the guy I'm
blast.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. What's up, Hobbit?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That must have been a blast.
Yeah, right. Cool thing is he's like, so you airsoft, Rad? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, me too. We're just like, this is great, dude. You like, Delta Force airsofter.
That's cool.
It is cool. It's
Super
way cool.
A bunch of guys do that. I know a
yeah.
handful of guys that do that too. It's pretty wild. I mean, it
Well,
sounds
he-
like
he
you're
wound up-
pretty into it.
He wound up having a 100,000 square foot indoor kill house facility built with a neighborhood inside of it. And it was in Vegas called Apocalypse Vegas. And all the
kidding.
other tier 1 guys were like zombies. And so they would role play as zombies. And then the patrons would come in, like 6 or
That's
10 of them at a
awesome.
time. And they'd get led by these guys who were actual operator guys who. And so when we were in, he's like, so you do airsoft? And I'm like, yeah. I thought he was going to make fun of it. And then he's like, so do we. And I was like, oh, bro, this is very. Why do you think I'm here right now talking to you? Like, this is how this whole world comes together.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really
awesome.
crazy.
That's fantastic. I have never gotten involved with it. I think I want to. I got some friends that do it, and at some point I'm going to buy some more land for Always Ready and some other things, ideas, and I want to bring that to New Hampshire. Not a lot of people do it up this way. Well, they do it, but they travel. So
Right.
that's-
We travel. Here in
the bank.
Utah, I have like a 500 acre, we'll call it a ranch.
Yeah.
Okay. And it has all of a pallet city built because we save all the pallets
cool.
from our shipments that we get orders with. And
That's
then
awesome.
I have guys who can Minecraft, dude. And they're like our age. And they're like,
no
let me
kidding.
build it, Rad. Hey, can I bring my backhoe out? I'm like, you got a backhoe now that you're 37 years old? Bring it on out. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Like, what do you bring to the clubhouse, bro? Like, come help build it up. And so it's a very community-driven environment here in Utah with war games. There's about 8,000 of us that participate on the weekends. And there's clandestine games too. There's the place where I commercialize it. I have a place. And then there's the people that are like, we have a 12,000 square foot house that we're tearing down. And before we do that, we're going to go in and fight our family through it. You know, it's like, that happens all the time. It's happening cool. Right now, in fact, yes.
That's super awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's good relief. It's good stress relief because let's say a kid had asthma and he could never join the military. That's just like you're done, you know, nothing you can do about it. But now they can come out and do war games with us and they can fight alongside guys who have been there and done that, who are looking for an outlet as well of some camaraderie. And so it's usually getting shoulder to shoulder with these guys where this young kid now can have the opportunity to fight alongside a dude who's done it.
Yeah.
And be like, whoa, awesome. Cool, you know. Or there's guys in that are still doing that, play airsoft. I got guard, active duty, so many. My airmen, where you at? I love you guys. The airmen, you see, the Air Force, you join the Air Force because you saw the Navy SEAL commercial.
Yeah.
Where the feet print get washed away from the sand. Join the Navy SEALs. You're like, hey, where's my Air Force recruiter? How you doing? Yeah. you know, you don't really get boots on the ground in the Air Force like you would think, you know, infantry. So airsoft is a huge puzzle piece to that. Because they get to do that. They get to wear all the gear. They get to run around. You know, they've been through a boot camp. You know, Marine Corps, the Marines, they usually find airsoft to be, you know, like, I'm a Marine.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I eat you.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, and when they pull our charging handles back on our M4s, I always tell the Marines, don't pull them hard. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like,
it's an airsoft gun, man.
Yeah, it's an airsoft. There's a spring. Hold on. Let me just show you. Just nice and easy, guy. But it does have a bayonet lug. And they're like cool. That. They like the bayonet lug.
That's cool.
So, you know, you just got to give your mind, it's entertainment when you do war games. Because we're just stepping outside of our normal commuter seatbelt suit that we wear every day. And then we go out into the desert. And what are we doing? We're active with our bodies.
Yeah.
We're active with others. We're communicating. We're working in team formations. You may never have been a baseball player, but now all of a sudden you're really good at being in a team formation and you're always there every single weekend and you dedicate yourself to it. So, you know, not to hijack this into airsoft war games, but it's a good outlet and a good means to get out there and move your heartbeat.
Activity, man, right? Like we utilize that with we'll work discipline with firearms training, self-defense training, but with workouts, right? A lot of people are doing that these days. You got the tactical games, you got all these other stuff doing it. We're working that into the Always Ready brand and have some people coming up from Mass, from all over. And really the main goal isn't just to be awesome with a pistol or awesome with self-defense. It's to be fit, to be always ready, man. You know,
be mindful of that.
Yeah. That's where that comes from. And the Always Ready brand, it's, you know, it's not just about the worst thing possible. It's for your mind. It's for when you get laid off from that job, or when someone dies in your family or your friend passes away. I've unfortunately had to go through some of that recently, and there's a difference, and I can speak to that. You know, it's really wild when you focus on discipline. You start to become grateful for everything, and you really dive into that. And I tell you, my life is better just personally. I've always been a pretty personable guy, always been friendly, but like you said earlier, Brad, I show up for myself. Now I'm showing up for everybody else even tenfold. Right. I thought I used to show up for people before. Now it's totally different. Now I'm...
And you want to you know the cool thing about journaling, social media wise, is now I have to show up because you got to keep the brand going.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse, right? It's like, what did I pick here?
Yeah, the world's got it.
What did I pick to brand myself as? Well, okay, I'm going to pick myself as someone that goes to the gym every day, every morning, and go boxing. And, you know, I go 5 to 6 days a week to say every day. And then Sunday I swim about a mile with my son. And then, you know, when it's the snow season, I do about 70 days on the resort on a snowboard in the season. Cool. So, you know, active. You know, if I die trying, then I die.
Yeah.
I guess, if that's
Yeah.
how it goes. Like if I'm all of a sudden rad keeled over throwing punches, all right, I guess that's what's up. Or I went off a cliff because I snowboarded and I didn't know or I knew what I was doing, but the cliff took me anyways, whatever.
Yeah, that's a solid point, and it makes me think about, like, I was just thinking about this yesterday morning. I was traveling back. I was down to Pittsfield, Mass. It's a 2.5 hours from here, and I was up 3 a.m. We're doing a run, and all I could think about was, man, why did I wait so long to
Yes.
become disciplined? Why? Like, I don't spend time with that. I'm not in my brain beating myself up with it. I'm actually grateful. It helps me become more grateful for clarity there. But I sit there and I'm like, man, stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop pushing it away, because it doesn't matter what happens right now. I'm just glad to live, like, and glad to be a part of the world, and be there for people, like, and really myself. You know what I mean? And I guess if you don't try it, you don't do it, you might not understand it totally. But that's also part of the mission, to get people to come and learn how to do that for themselves. And I think people want to, even when they're pushing on it, even if they're pushing it away, that's them wanting to in some way. I know.
You just have to show up for yourself. You show up for yourself, then everybody else will have you showing up because you're showing up for yourself. It's just like, I mean, I'm not perfect at it, but I strive for perfection at it.
That's
so, with what I have on my plate, I have a lot, juggling businesses, group games, podcast hosting, traveling for all sorts of different things. You have to, I just literally just got back from seeing Def Leppard last night in Las Vegas.
That's awesome.
And so, we were rocking out, at Def Leppard with my wife and I. And so what's so hard is you go to these Las Vegas buffets and it's just like, I was like, I didn't see the dessert section, is what I said to my wife. I said, I saw the seafood and I saw the Chinese area and I saw like the Americana, but I didn't see the salad bar, is what I said. And it's we're at Caesar's Palace. Shout out to Caesar's. Thank you for the good time. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, where's the salad bar? I love a salad, And so I wound up finding this like beet fruit salad. I put it on my plate and I got some chicken that I could find and some other things. And I was like, oh, this is such a big amount of food in here. They had like brisket, they had smoked everything, they had like fried bacon, pork, flat. It was just like a massive spread. And I'm just looking for the chicken. And I go to the taco guy. I'm like, you got pollo tacos? He's like, no, sorry, bro. And I'm like, out of all of this, you don't have no chicken tacos?
That's wild.
I'm just looking for a chicken, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
And so the hardest thing was after we ate and we got our tray, I found the dessert tray. And I was like, oh, shit. Here's the dessert table. Okay, so let's see. What do you have? You have and they're all little. But when you put them all, and my wife and I are like, well, we got to try them all, don't we? At least a bite of each one, huh? And I was like, all right, let's be glutton. So we put a little bit on each plate. And when I got through one half of the dessert bar, I was like, this is so much that I have on my plate. We go and sit down. I set it down. I'm looking at it. And I was like, this is so much. But over there, it didn't seem so much because there was so much. It's like, it seemed littler because there was so much grandioso food. And when we come back with our plate, I said it. I'm like, all right. So we just tried a bite, maybe ate the whole thing of a little ice cream cone thing. Because what am I going to do? It's like, then we walked probably after that, we went and walked for maybe like a mile outside.
That's good.
It was a nice day in Vegas. Yeah, so we went for the walk after we ate to try to move our digestive systems and shit. And then this morning in the gym, dude, I was just like, I was kind of sucking wind.
Yeah.
And it's been 2-3 days since I went in the gym, since I went on my trip. And this one lady in the class, Julie, she's like, you good? I'm like, I'm just sweating out Vegas.
It's a real thing.
Just got to sweat out Vegas, yo. I just got to get it out of me right now and just hit the bag and just like, do these burpees that we were doing, bro. And it's just like, I'm like, oh, there goes that little tart and that little cupcake. And
was there a bucket nearby just in case?
Oh yeah, I'm just like dripping sweat and I'm like, just get out of me. So, I'm not perfect. Like I said, I mean, I dove into some of those things, but
it'll happen.
Well, that's the problem. It's like, how do you stay disciplined when you're doing 365 days a year? How do you, if you're doing 10 days, if you're doing 1 day, because you're already in it 200 something, you should already be regimented.
Dude, it's wild. I'll tell you, people ask me, they're like, do you have hard days? I'm like, of course I have hard days. There are days where I wake up at 3 and I'm like, fuck this, and I'm like,
dude,
man, But then I get out there and I get into it, and I'm like, yeah, okay. and
Same.
I and I
After I
feel
got
it
done
in
with
the
the gym.
brain and whatever. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. People talk about motivation and they think it's junk, and I don't disagree with them, but I disagree in the way it's said. I think I motivation is a good thing. I think because now you just got to act on it. Otherwise, it's diminishing, right? So,
Right.
but the discipline piece, doing it when you don't want to do it, I've had that a ton, right? Obviously, but now the discipline is my motivation.
That's
It's
right.
wild, and I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were out. He's having a beer, and I'm having a water or whatever, and I'll have a Diet Coke, whatever, because it's 0 calories. It fits into what I've chosen for a diet.
Right.
Um, but he's like, man, you don't want to drink or anything? I'm like, no, don't care at all right now. I said, I'm not I'll have a beer. I'll have a whiskey. I have a sweet bar in my house, man. I built up here, whatever. But there's just the more and more they say it and ask it, I'm like, yeah. In my head, I'm not saying it out loud like an asshole,
Yeah.
but in my head, I'm like, yeah. It's fire. It's fuel. It's motivation. It's wild how it's flipped. And I will tell you that habits and rituals and routines are good, but it's behavior right now. And there's a big difference in that statement for me in my brain, the way that I understand dogs and training people and understanding that. I like last year I failed phase 1 because I forgot to take my photo. I had to start all over. Now, when I say I have to, people are like, you have to? I'm like, well, I guess I don't have to, but I committed to this. I don't want, I've committed to this. I'm gonna follow through with it. So I started over and learned. So sometimes I will get up later. Like I'll get up at 6:37, but it kind of throws my day off. Or my wife will schedule something, and I was like, oh, I got up at 7. I get my first workout in, but now we're gonna go out for the afternoon. I pack a meal with me. I go to
Oh
I've
yeah.
left family parties to go get my second workout in. They're like, "You're gonna
Yeah.
leave?" I'm like, yeah, "I'll be back." They're like, "Dude, don't leave." I'm like, "I'll be back."
Right. I'll be back. I'll just give me
And they're
I
like, "You're
gotta go to the
serious?"
bathroom. I'll be right back. Yeah,
And they're
I
like,
gotta go
"You're
to the bathroom.
serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am serious.
You're
I
gonna go
gotta
sit
show
on the
up
toilet for
myself."
45 minutes with your phone.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit on your toilet for 45 minutes with your phone.
Yeah.
I'll be back. I'll be
Yeah.
back. You'll be back. I'll be back. You're
Right
gonna
on.
miss me. I'm gonna go to the bathroom with my phone.
Seriously.
No, it's like, I mean,
You'll be okay. Like, enjoy the
yeah,
people.
don't
I'll
worry.
be back. Yeah.
By the time,
And sure
yeah,
enough.
you go to the bathroom for 30 minutes with your phone. I'll be back.
And then there's times where I know, this the way the day worked out. We get home at 11. I'm the DD. My wife loves that. She's like, "Oh, it's so good you're the DD." I
Oh
always
yeah,
have
you
a DD
drive.
right now, right? She doesn't get hammered or nothing. She just has a couple, but you know, and I'm outside at 12 o'clock at night running down the road, just getting it done. Whatever.
Huh.
There's just no waiver. I've shown up. I have learned today now, and I love the process of it. I have end goals, but I'm only focused on that day's goal. Just winning that day, as we say, right?
That's right.
And that's freaking real. Like I have a ton of goals, and I wish they were here now. But you know what? I don't need to wish because it's going to happen. I'm just focused on today because I love this. Like, and I'm grateful for what I have. That's
And it's like I say all the time, consistency doesn't show up. Consistency is showing up.
Yeah,
And so,
correct.
it's like I may not see a change in me after doing the gym of boxing dedicated for 2.5 years, but there's been a change.
Yeah.
Someone who hasn't seen me sees the difference. I get it all the time. Oh, your shoulders. I'm like, oh, you think so? I'm like, really? These guys, you think so? They're like, dude, I see your shoulders, Rad. I'm like, I got shoulders. Yeah, I got shoulders. What do you see about them? What is it?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Tell me
You see my
more.
shoulders because I can protect myself.
Yeah,
But
It's awesome.
you just I appreciate that. Or yesterday, literally at Def Leppard, I was wearing shorts, and this dude I never met before. I switched my wife's seats because I was snaking someone else's seat till they got there. I was like, I'll sit here. We'll give this guy space, and if they come, I'll move over to that seat.
Fair.
So I finally move over, but we had talked to this guy for a minute with his wife or girlfriend or whoever. I sit down, and he's like, "Boy, I was just checking out your legs. I just want to let you know that you are not hairy at all on your legs because I have all this hair on my face and head." I'm like, "Thank you." I'm like, "You checking out my legs, bro?" Thank you. All right, yeah, because my wife's
wanna
like, yeah,
touch
she had
'em?
just been. I've been working out my legs, doing leg works. Jump rope, bro.
Yeah.
Ring dips, you name it, dude. Goblet squats. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I got some thighs, and I snowboard too, so I train for snowboarding. I was just like, okay, so I take little compliments wherever I get them on.
Right on.
You know, he doesn't know me. He's like, oh, your legs look great. And I'm like, well, all right. I appreciate that 10% kind of gay, but I was not 100%. I'm okay. You can be that. That's cool.
Yeah,
10%'s cool.
He forgot, Rad. He forgot, like we said in the 90s, and he probably even in the 80s to sub level, no homo.
Yeah, right. And I'm okay. Like I say, everybody's gay. It's just what percent.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like
totally.
you just shut the whole thing down. It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I think that you could be handsome. That's 5%.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. If I want to take you on a date and do more, that's probably like 80, 90%. So it's like, what percent? I could say, hey, you're handsome.
That's right. Totally.
That's right.
Totally.
God, dude.
Totally
Smack
comfortable.
this society.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, exactly.
I always say, a friend of mine made a comment because we're joking around, like totally joking around, and he's like, I'm like, that's gay, and I'm like 1990s gay.
Yeah,
like,
it's not negative.
Yeah,
no.
it's like I'm joking, like I'm just saying.
Yes.
Not that way.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. Exactly. That's
dude, I can't believe this has been such a great conversation. It's been an hour. I can't even.
Has it really? Oh my god.
Yeah. So anyone who's listened
started.
this long, I just want to throw you a kiss, personally from me out there, and just say thank you for, hanging with us through this conversation of back and forth, and learning that showing up is, half the battle and the other half is violence. Pure, unadulterated. G.I. Joe, knowing's half the battle. The other half is violence.
I'm okay with violence, but I don't like it.
Yes, but hey, be ready. That's why I love to box. They say in a street fight, it's either ground or boxed. So it's like
100%.
So wrestling or boxing. And with that said, I do want to let you get back to your normal day. I know I've had you for a solid hour of our time. You're a welcome back addition to the SOFREP Radio guest list.
Thank you.
Anytime you want to come back or you have something new you want to talk about, mindful wellness, there's so many stories we probably didn't even dig into because we just got to know each other on these episodes. But what I like to show, Rob, is that, no matter where we come from in the US of A, we can have a candid conversation with one another without getting at each other's throats.
Yeah. And
like you said, de-escalation and, be that guy out there or that gal if you're listening. If a situation starts to get tense, just de-escalate the situation. Just be that person, just say, hey, we're all here to punch a clock and we're all here to make our lives better. Let's not be at each other's throats in today. I love the big flag. You got such a big flag. I feel like you're George S. Patton coming out to speak.
I love it too. It's
that
8 by
huge
10, baby.
flag. Yeah, I love that flag, and I love it till the day I die. And so, I think that a lot of us here would all agree with that at SOFREP. That we appreciate everybody that's fought and died for that flag. I do want to remind everyone about your website as well before I completely let you go. And that website is called alwaysready365.com. And you can go and learn about Rob Kelly. You can buy his merch. You can help support his mission and pick up a hoodie or whatever is on that site.
That's right.
You can learn more about Rob and his mission, about why he didn't want to be fat AF anymore. Okay. And, Rob, thanks again for being on SOFREP Radio with us. And to our friend Jim, thank you for the shout out and the referral. And, I love that kind of content. So thank you so much.
Rad, thank you. It's been a pleasure, man. You're awesome. And thank you to all of you out there. Thanks for your service. You guys are badass. Ladies, women, men, awesome. Just keep being awesome. Thank you, Rad.
I love that. You're very welcome. And on behalf of Brandon Webb, who's awesome and the curator of this whole SOFREP program, and Callum, my producer out of London, and myself for showing up to do this day in and day out. It's me. I wake myself up. I brush my own teeth. I get here. Maybe someone will have to do that later in life for me, but right now it's me, okay? And so until then, this is Rad saying check out the book club, check out our merch store on SOFREP.com, and peace.
You've been listening to SOFREP Radio.